Welcome to the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education, sponsored by the Skillman Foundation and hosted by its president and CEO, Emely Maciel. Our State of Education is a monthly conversation where students and teachers, parents, and policymakers come together to talk about great developments happening in our schools, what needs to be improved, and how we can all work together to support Michigan kids. Angelique, what's on tap for today's show?
Well, Lloyd, I can tell you right now, this is going to be one of the most listened to shows of the year. High school students will be telling us how they see technology and AI showing up in the classroom and how they feel about it. The impact of tech and AI on learning, relationships, mental health. These are things that we all muse about, yet rarely do we hear about it from people whose lives are being shaped the most. 3 high school students, members of Skillman's Youth Council, are here to tell us what it's like to go to school and grow up in the digital age.
So whether you're in Detroit or the UP, a parent or a policymaker, this conversation is for you. This is Our State of Education on 760 WJR. Welcome back to the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education here on 760 WJR, brought to you by the Skillman Foundation, which invests over $20 million each year to strengthen education for students in Detroit and across Michigan. Now, to help us dive into today's conversation with our 3 very special guests, here's your host, Skillman President and CEO, Emely Maciel.
Thank you, Lloyd. So today we're talking about something that touches nearly every young person's life, and that is technology. Today's youth, tech isn't something that they occasionally use. It's actually woven into how they learn, communicate, create, research, collaborate, and connect with people and the world around them. According to the Pew Research Center, nearly half of U.S. teens say they're online constantly, and more than half say they used AI chatbots to help with schoolwork. Technology has fundamentally changed life and learning, and young people have strong feelings about it. We saw that clearly this graduation season when students at several college commencements booed the speakers who talked about AI as an uncomplicated good. So the reaction says something important. Young people are not rejecting technology outright, but they're asking us to take seriously the questions and concerns and trade-offs that come with it. From school-issued devices, online assignments, artificial intelligence, social media, cell phones, and more, technology is raising big questions for schools and for parents and policymakers, like how should AI be used in education? Do cell phones belong in schools? When does technology support learning? When does it hinder learning? And how is it shaping critical thinking, creativity, relationships, and even mental health? So rather than talking to adults to speculate what students think, we're going straight to the source with today's very special guests, brilliant high school students. And they are all members of Skillman's Youth Council, I say with pride. Through our Youth Council program, they are learning about education systems change and philanthropy and directing their own grant making. And we also learn from them. They are bright, they bring informative insights and new ideas, great energy, and a sense of meaning. And I say this honestly, every time I get to spend time with you guys and hang out with you, I feel like I am bettered by the experience, and now our listeners get to be too. So please welcome Emely Maciel, Ricardo Carter, and Mireya Pouncy. Welcome, y'all, to Our State of Education.
Hi, you are.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What are the different hats that you wear? Do you guys... Is that something people say, like, what is the hat you wear? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who wants to start? Ricardo, they're all looking at you. So do you want to get us started?
Yes. One of the hats I like to wear is I like clothes a lot. Like, I find finding clothes that nobody's wear because, like, a lot of people like to follow trends. And I kind of like standing out from people. Like, if you ask people at my school, I really dress differently from everyone. And I kind of like going other places, finding clothes that nobody here gonna wear.
I love the sweatshirt that you're
Thank you.
wearing right now.
Hi, my name is Mireya Pouncy. I also go to University Prep Academy High School. I am currently class of 2027 senior. Very excited. Some of the hats that I wear, both literally and figuratively, I also wear beanies. But one of the metaphorical hats that I wear, I am the current class of 2027 vice president.
Oh, snap. Did you just say your middle name
Yes.
was Angelique? And we've never discussed this before? Oh, my God. I love that. Congratulations also.
you.
That's amazing. Emily.
Hello, my name is Emely Maciel. I am an upcoming junior. I attend Cass Tech, and one of the hats I wear is that I really love baking. Baking brings me so much joy. Like, it's just so peaceful and relaxing. I wish I could, like, start my own business, but I really haven't, like, started yet because, you know, I'm not that good yet, but that's something I'm really considering in the future.
And have you been baking your entire life?
No, I recently started, like, last year. I started off with, obviously, like, making brownies, cookies. Yesterday, I made cake pops, and they came out really good.
Emily, I didn't see any cake pops with you today.
I should have brought some, huh?
Yes, next time, please.
Next time.
Okay, cool. So, if you had to describe school to someone who graduated 10 years ago or 30 years ago, how would you describe it in a way that you think it would surprise them the most in terms of what's different now?
I could definitely say that they will be very shocked because back in the days, they would do work on paper. And now, mostly every work is now on computers, laptops, and everything. Everything is, like, online. And I feel like that's, like, very affecting the students nowadays.
I would describe it to them as fast-paced, easier, is more, like, information is more accessible. I remember, like, y'all had to use dictionaries, but now all you have to do is look it up. And they probably thought they wouldn't be using technology because, like, I remember back then people used, like, computers and stuff to look on the web, but now use it to do schoolwork. I think they'd probably be shocked how fast-paced it is now.
If I were to describe it, I think they would be very shocked at how few teachers actually stand up and teach their classes nowadays. A lot of the times they're sitting behind the desk and they're just clicking through slides now instead of actually standing up in front of the class and explaining what's on each slide. It's very hard to comprehend sometimes.
That's so interesting. It would be hard to answer this, but did this shift happen during the pandemic? I mean, part of what you're describing feels like technology had to necessitate a different way of teaching. Do you think that's when it changed?
The pandemic was absolutely like where the shift became prominent. It started before that. Like, even when I was in like 4th, 5th grade, I noticed that a lot of my teachers had kind of stopped standing up to teach. But after the pandemic, when everything became virtual, it definitely was like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Like, everything can just be online, because at that point, everything was already online. There wasn't really anything left to do on paper. There wasn't much left to do to write. And another thing I noticed is that they're not teaching, like, handwriting anymore. Like, a lot of these kids do not have good handwriting. So that's another thing on why.
Ricardo raised his hand, by the way.
Yeah, my handwriting is horrible.
So that's like a whole another thing, that everything's just on the computer because it's just in one spot.
Do you all, when you take notes in class, do you do that on your computer?
No.
They
They make us write it on our notebooks. That's one thing
Yeah.
I can say they make us do.
Okay, so you do have practice with your handwriting. Is there anything else? I know we only have 1 minute left for this segment, but anything else you'd say that would be really surprising to someone?
They don't teach cursive anymore.
They do not teach
Nope, not at
cursive.
So do you all sign your names?
No.
Do you
No.
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 In like the last, I want to say, decade, they have not taught cursive since I've been in school. Like, even elementary school, they have not taught any type of cursive.
Like, my signature, you would think I'm writing my name just
Yeah.
again, just regularly.
I write my name regularly for my signature.
Yeah.
same.
Wow. I wonder about the deeper impact of that. But we'll talk about that more after the break.
That's where we'll leave it for this segment of Our State of Education, powered by the Skillman Foundation, investing in brighter futures for Detroit youth and students across Michigan. Thanks for tuning in. More ahead on the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education on 760 WJR. Welcome back to the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education, brought to you by the Skillman Foundation, which believes student, parent, and teacher voices must be at the table when decisions are being made about our schools. We're back now to continue our conversation with our special guests. Angelique, tell us who they are.
Well, thank you, Lloyd. We have Emily, rising junior at Cass Tech. We have Mireya, rising senior at UPrep, and Ricardo, rising junior at UPrep 2. We're just getting into the conversation about how schools are different now. And actually, during the break, Lloyd, you asked a question. I was hoping you'd ask it again.
Well, yeah, because, we were talking about cursive writing and how you write your names, and I was asking, do they have shop class in your school, or home economics, home ec? And you guys like, what is that?
What did you guys say?
Well, I said that we do not have any of those classes. I know Ricardo said that we have a lot of electives that are really irrelevant.
Yeah.
I guess like everything is more like technology based now. There's a lot of STEM classes, which I guess are beneficial, but outside of school, how is that going to help me?
Yeah.
True.
We literally have an entire AI elective. Like, I think it's something about AI, but we do not have any type of home ec or like writing really.
Like all of these sort of tangible,
Yeah.
tactical, hands-on things are changing much in the same way our economy is changing. And I think much in the same way that businesses are assuming the workforce will change. And so schools seem to be reverse engineering that into the classrooms to figure out how to prepare you for the now or the future, but might be missing some things, some basic things. So talk to us about this. So how does technology show up in school? How do cell phones show up? How does AI show up? What does that look like day to day?
I would say now in the current gen, technology is everywhere. Technology, phone, Apple Watches, glasses now.
Do
Teachers.
people wear the Meta glasses?
Yes,
Yeah.
Meta glasses.
Are they allowed?
Yeah. You can't record. That's the only thing you can't do, but you can use them.
And why would you use Meta glasses in school? I really don't know. I'm genuinely asking.
Okay. A lot of schools you can't use your phone, so people probably use Meta glasses to talk on the phone to people, because like you can't notice when somebody's on the phone. Like it's a lot of times where I was sitting by somebody and they were just talking, and I'm thinking they talking to me, but the whole time they're on the phone, but you can't hear it.
Wow.
So it's just like somebody just talking in their ear and they just talking back to them
In the classroom.
in the classroom.
And then AI, how does AI, first of all, does your school have an AI policy that you're aware of? Yeah.
Yes.
And what
No.
is it? No. Okay,
It's,
so Cass Tech, no, but you probably.
Automatic
Prep, yeah.
plagiarism.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cannot use AI to help with.
Let me not say
Okay,
that
okay.
completely.
But
You can use AI to write your whole thing. You can use AI to get an idea or to like get information. But far as word for word, they're gonna notice and they're gonna plagiarize it. No, because they run it through an AI tracker. So it's like if it comes up more than 50% AI, you're getting 50.
yeah,
Or zero.
I had a lot of my friends, even though they had handwritten all of their stuff, they used AI to kind of help with vocabulary, grammar, just like little basic things, even though they had their own stuff. And their teacher actually ran it through an AI check, and they all failed because it came back as AI, even though it was handwritten. So the AI is kind of like the rules, they kind of suck, because it's like a lot of kids don't use it for what it may be intended for, or at least what it would be beneficial to use it for. They're really just using it to cheat.
Oh, interesting. So how would someone use AI to cheat?
By essentially just going ChatGPT, Gemini, anything, write this entire essay for me, add this, add that, because, you can add pictures and stuff. So if you have physical papers for evidence, they'll be like, take evidence from this, incorporate it into my essay, and then they'll submit it just like that.
And that's considered cheating because it'll go through the AI.
Because it's plagiarism. It's not written by them.
Okay. And do you agree that that's cheating?
I do, because there are students who will put their best foot forward and actually put in a lot of effort to write what they want to do, and to like really put the work in, and then they'll not get the grade that they deserve because there are people out there who are just, they don't want to use.
They're using it for like even generating the initial thought, doing all of it A to Z, as opposed to just editing the pieces.
Yeah.
Emily, I feel like you want to get in there.
Yes. Okay. So we do not have a school-wide rule about AI, but it really varies on the teacher. I know some teachers use AI for some assignments and some don't at all. Some teachers also use AI to check your work, if it's authentic or not. I know my sister, she's in college. She told me that she wrote all of her essays. She put it in an AI checker, and it came out as 100% AI, which is unfair because how are teachers going to tell us to not use AI when they use AI to check our work?
Wow. Interesting. Ricardo, you want to say something?
Yeah, I do. I would say people don't use AI in a smart way because there's plenty of ways you can use AI very powerful without cheating or getting the exact answers. Like, it would have been plenty of cases where I would have to miss a day of school because I was sick, and we would read a part of a book, and AI is useful because you can easily say, what is the key ideas from this section of the book? And they'll tell you. It will inform you. It will give you a small passage on what happened in that section of the book. And that's very useful because instead of, asking for the answers, you can ask for the part of the book and read it and get to understand it. So when a teacher calls on you, you're able to explain your answer instead of just getting the answer and then you don't know the context behind it. So when they say something in the class discussion, you won't be like, I never heard of this.
You're making me think about that there just may be a genuine lack of understanding of AI, which I get because I am, early yet in it myself. But AI can do initial thinking for you, much of it riddled with mistakes, honestly. So you still have to be able to look at it to figure out what's right. AI could help to edit your own thinking to bring it to grammatically correct or whatever. AI could push back on what your thinking is. Or, Ricardo, AI could take a scan of something and give you like really big ideas so that you can stay involved in the discussion. I think what you guys are saying is like, what is the difference here? It can't just be like no AI, because AI is incorrect a lot of the times. But how do you get to where, whether it's young people or whether it's people at work, are using their critical thinking and creativity, and AI is enhancing that instead of replacing it? And if there was a way to sort of judge between the two in schools, it might be easier and maybe more responsible to use AI. So are you, yes, Ricardo?
Like, to take basis on that, I feel like you can see when a student use AI, especially on assignments, because it's like 50% of the class use AI, and they all have the exact same answers because they don't think to try to put it in their own understanding, and they'll use words that they don't even know their own self. And so I feel like when teachers grade, I feel like they're a little lazy because running it through an AI tracker is not checking it. I feel like they should go back to old grading methods where they'll actually read all of the kids' work so they can tell when it's a shift in what they're using. Because if you see a kid's vocabulary is small and they don't use very large words, when they start using very large words, you should be able to understand, they use AI, because what do this mean?
That's a great point, that it should be an enhancement to teaching and an enhancement to learning, but there's kind of a space missing there right now because you guys are the first to really have it in schools. We have about 45 seconds left. Yes or no, can you bring a cell phone into your classroom?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you have to put it away for the class? Yes or no?
No.
Sometimes.
It depends.
Okay. And do you think having a cell phone with you in the classroom is helpful or harmful?
Both.
Both.
Ooh, we're going to talk more about that.
That brings us to the end of this conversation, but there's even more to come with our special student guests. Stay right here. The Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education, brought to you by the Skillman Foundation, continues after this on 760 WJR. Welcome back to the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education, proudly supported by the Skillman Foundation, partnering with people to transform education and nurture the brilliance and power of Detroit youth. We're continuing with a very important conversation with 3 student guests. Angelique, introduce our students again and take us back in.
Thanks, Lloyd. Okay, we've got Emily, who is a rising junior at Cass Tech. We have Mireya, rising senior at UPrep, and Ricardo, a rising junior at UPrep also. Okay, we left it where we were talking about cell phones, and I think you all tapped into what was said in the introduction, which is young people seem to understand the benefit and the harm that comes with technology, maybe in a way that adults don't fully. So I want to start bigger. Like, you have a cell phone policy in your school, yes?
Yeah.
Maybe
Depends
not.
on the teacher.
We did.
So it's not a
Yeah.
school-wide policy, it's a teacher-by-teacher policy. Is AI a school-wide policy, or is it a teacher-by-teacher policy?
Teacher by teacher policy in my school.
Okay.
Ours is basically school-wide.
School-wide, but like in some classes, like electives, you can use it.
You can actually bring it in and they encourage
Because it's
you.
like, it's useful to what you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it is a little class by class. And then what is the cell phone policy?
Pouch. But this
Pouch,
year,
which means...
like, we have to put our phone in a pouch and hold it the whole day.
Okay, so there's a pouch that hangs right by the door when you walk in?
No.
It's
Hold
like
it with us.
yonder pouches.
It's like
Do you know
shut
what that
tight.
is?
No,
Like, you ever been to
yonder.
a concert and you couldn't use it, you couldn't like record, so they make you put it in a pouch, and it's like a nail and a magnet that keep it together, and you can't open it at all for the rest of the day. But they kind of got away from it this year to give us some like leniency, but I don't know if they're gonna do it this year. But if you was on your phone too much, they make you put it in there.
Yeah, the typical thing, at least for my grade, was 9th grade pouch period. Like you
Yeah,
have to have
freshmen.
it pouch all day, every day. And then 10th, 11th, and 12th grade was like 2 or 3 warnings, and then you have to have it pouch for a day. If you get warned again, it's pouch for the week. You get warned again, it's pouch for the month. You get warned again, it is
Lifetime.
pouch,
Yeah.
for the rest of the
school
year.
You never have a phone again.
Never
Yeah,
have fun
so it's just like the warnings kind of take away the whole purpose of the pouch.
Okay, so when you mentioned the pouch, my jaw dropped. But Emily, you looked surprised too. So
Yeah, I was so shocked. We definitely do not have any of the pouch phone thingies you guys have. Like I said, it definitely depends on the teacher. I know my first hour class, it's like warnings. Have it out when she's teaching. That's warning 1. Second warning, it's done. And also,
And if it's done, what happens to the phone?
she just takes it
Oh.
and you get it back at the end of the hour.
Okay.
And then I know for my journalism class, that's last hour, she had like a pouch thingy on the door. So before we enter class, we have to put our phones in there. So like I said, it definitely depends on the teacher.
Okay, so when I asked you guys, are cell phones helpful to have in school or harmful? You all categorically said both.
Yeah, I could definitely say it depends on the user. If you decide to use it when you're not supposed to, then you have no one else to blame but yourself. So I definitely believe that, you're going to face the consequences of your own actions.
So it's fine if it's used responsibly and that's on you.
yes.
Okay.
I said both because in a majority of my classes, the policy is once I'm done up here teaching and I teach the lesson, y'all are free to do y'all own. Like, we're basically left on our own. Like, you can be on your phone, but if you don't finish your work, that's you.
Okay.
And but while teaching is going, while they're up there teaching, explaining the lesson or reading, no phones.
Okay.
It's definitely the same, like even by the grade. If you're that type of student where you can't be on your phone and do your work at the same time, then that's on you. Even the teachers are like, if you don't complete your work, like, you are just going to get the grade that you get. And then it's also kind of like the relationships that you build with your teachers. So if you build that trusting relationship with them and they're like, I know I can trust you to be on your phone and do your work and like understand what you're doing, then I'm not going to bother you while you're on your phone.
Wow. I am pretty blown away because a part of what you guys are also saying is that teaching happens during an active lesson. And when an active lesson ends, then you can tune out. And so it isn't like just the time you're in the classroom and the other things, which might include interacting with other peers that are also finished or taking out these pieces of paper that don't exist in school anymore and pens and drawing for a while. It is about when you are activated in this setting and then being activated in technology, which is very interesting. And that, I think, would surprise someone who graduated 10 years ago. How has technology enhanced your learning? Like, do you have an example of where you were like, this took what I was already doing and just exponentially made it better? Yes, Ricardo.
AI did that when I write a response to something, because you can write a response to something, but it wouldn't be very professional, I say. Like, you can write something that can be very simple and bland, but you can use AI to, like, make it sound more better, more engaged.
Yeah, so taking your thought and then having AI help to elevate it in a way that's can appeal to more people or something.
You can write what you were going to write on your paper on AI and say, make it sound a little better.
Yes.
And it's going to take your thoughts and ideas and tune it a little better.
Not replace you, just enhance it. Mariah, do you have something?
This isn't particularly AI, but I think the best piece of technology that enhanced my learning was learning how to use the Desmos graphic calculator. That was the best thing I ever learned how to use because it made math so much easier. And we literally did an entire project on making art on Desmos. I was like, this is like insane.
Okay, you guys all reacted like, yes. And Lloyd and I looked at each other like, what on earth are they? So what is this? What's this thing?
Desmos is a graphing calculator where, like, you can add multiple equations and steps. So you can have a geometry equation on one line, then the next line you can have an algebra equation, then the next line you can have a pre-calc equation, and you can just add multiple steps or multiple things. You can and make it invisible. Like, you can, like, hide things, but it's still there. You gotta just make it back visible. You could do a lot on there.
It is an insane calculator.
You do have to be smart to use it, though. I say as a beginner,
Clearly.
it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
True.
Wow. I'm so impressed. You know, we're talking about technology, and you guys are talking about what we did have in school back in those days. I mean, a lot better. But you're talking about the coolest thing is a piece of technology that actually, like, helps you do math at, like, a much higher level as opposed to replace your thinking. Okay, I want your advice, as always. So at Skillman, we are on our own AI journey, and we have an AI initiative. We've divided ourselves into teams. Our teams focus on AI in general, the complexity. There's bias in AI. There's, climate impact, and we have lots of debate about data centers and all of that kind of stuff. So the ethics of AI, that's a team. Then we have AI and social impact philanthropy. So how are we funding humanity in AI? We have AI in education, everything you guys are talking about. How is it used? What does the policy look like? And then we have AI at Skillman, where I literally just left my computer and asked Claude to merge all of these PowerPoints for us. What would you advise us as we get on our journey? We could fund, we could participate in policy, we could change the things that we do inside. What would you tell us as we embark on this journey?
I would tell y'all to, like, AI is very powerful and very useful. Like, when I just recently went on this trip, this Grand Valley trip for the summer, I just found out AI can write codes for you. and I never knew that. So I would say, going on to your AI journey, to use AI to elevate whatever y'all doing, like to improve it. Like, you can take all your thoughts and ideas, like you said, merge all your bullet points. Like, AI is very useful for that. Like, if you have multiple different papers that you want to be together, AI can do that for you. Like, AI can do a lot of things. I say use it to make stuff better.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The only thing I would say is use it sparingly, and when you do use it, don't use it to be you. Use it to enhance you, because you don't want AI to take over your everyday life.
Okay, Ray is staring at me. Emily, do you have one quick thing that you would advise us?
I could definitely say use AI wisely. It's also affecting our environment too. I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that. And, we're not facing the consequences now, but in the future, we definitely will.
Thank you.
A lot of ground has been covered with our very special student guests, and there's still more to unpack in our final segment right after this break. You're listening to the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education, brought to you by the Skillman Foundation on 760 WJR. Welcome back to the Michigan Association of Broadcasters award-winning Our State of Education, sponsored by the Skillman Foundation, where we follow the will of Detroit youth to dream big and design new possibilities together. Angelique, let's turn it back over to you to reintroduce our very special student guests and continue the conversation.
Thanks, Lloyd. Okay, we've got Ricardo, rising junior at UPrep. We have Mireya, rising senior at UPrep, University Preparatory Academy High School. We have Emely, rising junior at Cass Tech, and we are about to turn to a segment that we introduced a couple months ago because we have so much interest in this radio show and podcast. We hear from our listeners on Skillman social media accounts. We get emails from folks. And so we wanted to bring listener voice into our state of education. Lloyd, what you got?
Well, today we have a question from Deborah, who asks, technology is great, but is there too much emphasis on its use? Has it pushed aside things like knowing how to open them or manage a bank account? And what can Michigan do better to prepare young people for their future?
I would definitely say that technology has pushed aside things like the basics. We typically do not learn anything about like financial literacy in school. So the only way I had a financial aid class, and junior year they gave me a career tech class. So that taught me about like things for college, and then my financial aid class taught me about things like, bank accounts, money, how to save, all of that. But the only reason that I took that financial class was because it was an outside program. So it wasn't even through school. So a lot of schools kind of don't focus on the basics.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is similar to how it was. Emily, what were you going to say?
I feel like something Michigan can do better is provide students with financial classes. I definitely believe that we need more of that. I know in my school, everything is more like technology based, like it's like medical technology, architecture, but it's never anything business related. It's really hard to find anything like businessy related. I try to find business clubs, literally impossible. So I definitely believe we could provide like more like financial clubs, classes, to educate our youth.
Yeah.
I know so many people that spend their money so unresponsibly, and that's just not okay. That's going to affect them later on in the future. They're not going to learn how to manage their own money.
It's interesting. I'm thinking about how you had said you like baking and how that, you want to open your own business in it, and how that is such an important component of actually entrepreneurship. And Gen Z is actually very entrepreneurial. You guys do open businesses and nonprofits so much. So more financial aid classes. Emily, you were saying something else about literacy during the break. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I can definitely talk about it. I see a decline in literacy in our younger generation. I know that my younger sister, she does not know how to pronounce words like discrimination or stuff like that. It's really hard for her to pronounce stuff. But I guess I come from like a family who also speaks another language, so I guess it's like harder for her to like, pronounce words. But I could definitely say that with technology, like a lot of like students just don't know big words, and it's sad. We don't read books anymore. And I know everything is just like on TikTok. People get their knowledge off of TikTok or like, just like social media in general. And I don't know, just books aren't a thing anymore.
Going back to those basics.
The decline in literacy is very serious. There are people in my grade who are reading at a first grade level, and that is very serious because we don't read in class anymore. Like Emily said, like, I don't remember the last time we've genuinely picked up a book and just sat and read. They do not push reading anymore, and the times that we do read, they're like really short excerpts of like essays, and that is it. We don't read fiction, nonfiction, science fiction. We just don't read, and we have an entire library. So if you do want to read, you have access to it, but those kids do not use the library to read.
It's interesting in our conversation about the lack of physically writing on paper, the lack of fully reading a book. There's something transformational that happens in the process of that, of actually taking the time to think your thoughts and write them down, taking the time to move through the journey of an entire book. It has like a molecular effect on people. And so technology is so important and prevalent. But if we remove our own human molecular change that happens through thinking, then it starts to atrophy those muscles. It gets harder to use them later. And yet, we know that this economy is rapidly changing and that there are certain things that our young people have to do to prepare themselves for it. College is one of those things. We know that if you do go to college or you enter the trades, then you will have an ability to earn money. You'll have an ability to have health insurance and help your family. How do you guys think about, Mireya, college?
Well, my school in particular doesn't have many college prep classes, especially not for like the underclassmen. But once you reach your junior year, we are offered top 50% are offered a class called Career Tech, where we'll essentially have the first semester to focus on the SAT, and then the second semester is to focus on college prep. And that class was extraordinarily helpful. But then also Detroit itself has a lot of very creative programs that kind of help with the college prep as well. There are like so many trio upward bounds. GDYT kind of helps with college prep as well.
Grow Detroit's Young Talent, yeah.
Yeah, and then my school itself has Peer Forward, where the students themselves are college prep advocates and just post-secondary choice advocates.
And I've heard you talk about this because you are involved, right?
Yeah, I'm the captain for Peer Forward at my school. And all we do is kind of go around and we teach our peers what, kind of guide them on what they might want to do post-secondary. So if they want to do an apprenticeship, we explain how they can follow that path. If they want to go to college, we explain how they can go down that path. If they just want to go straight into work, we explain how they can go down that path. And then we do a lot of things because we want our youth to go to college. We want them to learn. We want them to get degrees. We want them to be great. And even if that's not the top choice for them, we still encourage it because you never know. Their mind might change. They might change what they want to do in the future, but we try to encourage it as much as possible because it's a great path. What's
your pitch? Like I'm in the classroom, you're coming to talk to me, I'm on my phone. No, I'm not on my phone. But what is your pitch to me to explain to me, help me see the future?
Well, if it was me, I would tell everybody in my vicinity to join a TRIO program. There are so many opportunities to see colleges. I think I've been to like over 30 colleges across the country because of TRIO. I've been to New Orleans, I've been to Atlanta, I've been to Florida, I've been everywhere, and it is just an amazing program to see all the other programs that are out there that might be a choice for you.
When you guys imagine your future, and I know we have just a minute left, what do you see for yourself in the future?
I see a really bright path. I am exposed to all of these opportunities, and I'm very grateful to be exposed to these opportunities because I know people from different countries, they're not even allowed to go to school. And so I just don't want to I want to take advantage of these opportunities because I want a bright future for myself, my kids, and I'm going to be like a first generation student going to college. And so, that's like an achievement for me.
Beautiful. Ricardo.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as Emily. Like, I'm a part of a lot of stuff, a lot of organizations, a lot of groups. I have mentors. I'm a part of Trio Upper Mom. And so I want to go to college. I want to be the first. And, like, since my granddad played ball in college, I want to go to college. I want to go for cybersecurity. And I want to go into the field after.
Mireya.
I am really shooting to be an adolescent psychiatrist. That is like my number one goal. I'm taking AP Psychology and Intro to Psychology at a college, and I am just very excited.
Thank you all.
Send us your thoughts and questions. We'll bring some of these to the show. You can go to skillman.org/state of ed. That wraps up this month's edition of our State of Education here on 760 WJR. We'll see you next month with more voices, more insight, more hope for the future of Michigan students, only on 760 WJR.